Optimus Prime here with another exciting review slash opening. This lovely toy I received today. I am literally going to be unboxing it before your very eyes. I will not be transforming it live because, let's face it, even simple transformations seem to completely elude me. So instead I will transform it off screen and then cut back to exciting transformed version. Anyway, stop waffling. This arrived today. I think it's had a few reviews out there already. It's been around for not very long, but a little while. And it is Fans Hobby MB-15 Naval Commander, otherwise known as third-party Transformers Armada Optimus Prime. Just have a quick look at the box before we do anything more exciting. So this is obviously stylized on the old Armada packaging. Nice window box, which is a bit of a departure from most of the third-party stuff, which tends to be boxy boxes with no windows, or at least a flap with a window. Nice picture of the bottom there. On the other side, a picture of the toy, but stylized to look like how Prime did on the box of the original. And, combined mode. And on top we have Sparkplug doing a transforming picture, holding a matrix as you do. Bot mode on the back, pictures of bot mode, base mode, combined mode, and various bits that seem to come off. And yeah, that's about it. And on the bottom, oh, there's a nice picture of his truck mode. Nice box. Let's have a go inside. So I've already unsealed it. And I had got as far as pulling the plastic innards out, but I didn't get any further. I decided, no, let's wait for the review. Here you come. So that's that. It's quite weighty. I'm quite looking forward to this. In here there's a baggie of paperwork and a card with some pictures and stuff. Look at that a little bit later. Just close this up. And I'm going to pop this in here like so. So you get a better look at it. So now with my trusty Games Workshop craft knife, I'm going to slice this tape here and here. Tape on the side. Yep, it's tape on the side. Tape on the side. And a bit of tape on the side there. Should be sufficient. Oh, it's a bit stiff. There we go. Gonna have to do the ones at the bottom as well. This is well secured. Spark plug fell out. Box off. Let's just pop him out. So we've got these two pod things. Cab and the trailer, and also there is just this here, and that round, like there, and also on the back of the plastic, a little baggie of gubbins, which seems to be ears and missile pods. So let's have a quick look at this in this mode. So these things, looking at the picture on the I can see a picture of them in truck mode from where I am. I think they can fit on here. Yeah. They can go on there. Not very well, so maybe that's not where they go. Oh. Appears to be. I'll find out where those go in a minute. Some sticky magic. Okay, so where is that secure onto? Sort of slots on. Oops. With this piece, there's a little bendy bit there, so I'm guessing it's got a couple of slots that sort of very much like this little tongue and groovy kind of thing here. So let's see if I can get him on there securely. Ugh, it's one of those annoying things where it's hinged in a slightly irritating fashion. Ah, doesn't matter. We'll play with that later. But yes, you get the idea. Truck and cab and gun appeared from somewhere. Very, very reminiscent of his Armada weapon. Oh, that's a nice touch. So the wheels roll really well. That's good. All 6 wheels roll well, but I don't know if you can quite see the tank treads. The tank treads are rubber tank treads on wheels, and they're proper caterpillar tracks there. I'm impressed. I like that a lot. That is fun. Anyway, so yeah, just quick thoughts on the truck mode. It looks like Armada Optimus Prime. It's got all of the usual detailings. It's quite chunky. It's a bit weird as a trailer, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do? It doesn't really look like it's not a very practical trailer, shall we say. It does have what appears to be missile launcher pods there, which I believe the little red dudes in here fit in. I'm sure this will fit better into his oh, there we go. Yeah, so you pop it on and then move it up. That's actually far more fun than I was expecting. I really like the I really like these caterpillar tracks. Right, well, he looks gorgeous, and I'm very much looking forward to getting him into bot mode, but there is absolutely no way in hell I'm going to do that live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform into bot mode, and then using the power of editing, I will reappear, or rather he will reappear, in my little photo boothy thing, and we'll have a quick exploration of bot mode and combined mode, and then some comparisons between this chappy here and some bots I have prepared here, Power Baser and original Armada Optimus Prime. I'll be back instantly, or in about an hour when I've transformed him in my real world. Have fun. Okay, so I've transformed the front cab section. Here is the trailer in all of its glory. Due to me not having a decent background for my little boothy thing, I have just used the inside of the box he came in. The trailer is, as I said, it's pretty bog standard. Looks like the Armada one. Noticed I've already got a little bit of a stress mark there, which is slightly disappointing. I've loaded the missiles into the launcher at the front. Oops, and found where the pods go. They fit on quite nicely. This is weighty. This is really quite heavy. So these are the missile launchers. Let's have a quick go with these. As you may remember from Paddy and Simon's video on Power Baser, or the Apex armor, their missiles are quite powerful. Well, there's It's a little lackluster. Let's see, can they topple Armada Deluxe Prime? No. Oh, a little bit more. And that one barely came out at the end. Well, there we go. No, they're not powerful enough to topple a lesser Optimus Prime. Let's just pop those back in. It's probably quite satisfying putting them in, I must say. There's a good clunk to them. And yeah, there we go. Let's pop that back at the back there, out of the way, and let's take a look at this chap. So this is the standard robot mode. I haven't got to hand the original version as a comparison. I only have the deluxe version, mostly because I didn't want to uncombine my other one. So against the deluxe version, he's significantly taller, which is fine because he's, I guess, leader, and this is deluxe. Well, I suppose masterpiece scale rather than leader class. So yeah, that's that. So I mean, look wise, there's not a huge. I mean, it's obviously the same character. It's obviously the same design. All of the main features are more or less in the same place. The weapons on the forearms there, the head, the next one doesn't have a matrix, but that is indeed hiding under there, which I'll show you in a second. Wheels and the legs in the same place. I mean, it's more or less, it's effectively the same figure. It's a very good, accurate recreation thereof. Let's just pop him out of the way. So here he is. Right, he has, like all versions of this character, a skirt at the back, but this is quite well articulated. It comes out quite far. This little bit, which I assume is part of his combined mode, is loose as anything, and I cannot get it to stay where it should be, which is slightly annoying. Don't know whether that's a problem with mine or something that is universal. However, no matter. The hood of the truck just sort of sits back there. I don't really want to try and force it any further back, and in the pictures it seems to go that far, so won't do any more than that. Sort of standard masterpiece articulation of the hands. All the fingers are solid except for the trigger finger. The wrists all rotate, which is also part of the transformation, and he has a, well, I'm going to say thumb, but it's just a bit of plastic. Leg articulation, some good ratcheting on the hips, which rotate out. Also with ratcheting on the knees, there is a fair bit of knee action going there. It kind of feels like there should be more. Yep, the feet are sort of double jointed. You've got a toe joint there, which is exciting. They come round from the back as part of the transformation, so you have a bit of a transformation there. I think that might supposed to be clipping in there, but I haven't managed to quite get that in properly. My bad. And there's the usual swivels and swivels. That's quite a fair bit of articulation there. I don't think I've quite got it in right, but hey, that's what happens. I'm also not entirely certain I have his legs pulled out far enough. No, it looks about right in the pictures. So there's a couple of really interesting and ingenious parts of the transformation that I really liked. One of which was I thought his arms and hands were round the wrong way, but then I found that the part at the back actually swivels. It's on a swivel here, so it covers up the hinge, so it hinges the other way for truck mode and then spins back to cover it up, which was a nice little touch. I like that. And the other bit is this. So if we pop his chest off to show you where the matrix is hidden. Matrix, very nice. I haven't bothered to get that out yet. It's very shiny. Look at it shine. Very, very shiny. But this, it's like a bike chain, which means that it can come off from a different part and swivel down, and then it's sort of, the chain collapses in on itself, so that you've got a range of movement that really shouldn't be possible wouldn't have been possible from a normal hinge. It's really quite ingenious. I was verily, verily impressed. Head, Optimus Prime head, and yeah, he's got a good range of movement. You can shoot his big zappy gun of Optimus Primeness. You can stand at a unaided. Put your arm down. There you go. Balance at the slightly odd angle there. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you know. Legs have got good poseability, and can he stand on one leg? Ooh, can he? If I put that arm out a bit, yay! He can just about. Oh, the other quite fun thing, the motion of the arms. They can go up as far as that. They can come back down to there, and then this part, the actual shoulder, is ball jointed, so that's really nice. And there's good old shell bow action and double jointed elbow. So lots and lots of poseability, lots and lots of fun. I really like him. I would almost be tempted to get a second one to display in this bot mode with the trailer, because this dude is most certainly going to be displayed perpetually in combined mode, which I will get onto in just a moment. Oh, another quick nice touch, the wheels have rubber tyres and are lush. Very nice, looking pretty good there. Yeah, so I'm going to put him into combined mode and then do a couple of quick comparisons, and that'll be that. Cheers for watching so far. Okay, so before we move on to the combined mode and the trailer itself, a little bit more depth, I completely forgot to bring this guy into it, which is the equivalent to the original Sparkplug Minicon that came with the Armada figure. It's a nice little car. It's quite solid. It's very light. Looks pretty good from most angles. It's got a little bit of paint on the back there, and the windows, and there's a few paint apps. And the face of the robot has paint. Not quite focused. There we go. Yeah, so it's not too bad, all things considered. And he has the standard Minicon port, which does fit in your normal Armada figures. So here is old school Deluxe Optimus Prime again, and it does work with his lame shoulder shrug action. So yeah, it's a bit pants really, but this shoulder shrug, I mean. But the figure is quite nice. Robot mode. I'm not going to transform him live, but I will show you him in a second. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go for half transform. Now that I've got the bit that I kept getting wrong out of the way. So there's a bit of a tricky part when you pop the two sides off and the arms off, and the way those two parts, with my fat fingers in the way, clip into his shoulders there, and every time I did it I was popping his arms off left, right and centre, so I didn't want to have that on camera, especially with my track record of transforming things. So that slots in there like that. His legs come back down, and then spin his waist, push that bit in a little bit. Doesn't go in very far, but it does sort of create a chest and stomach. These bits push down like that. See? Poppy off arms. The joys of ball joints. Pops back on quite nicely, so that's nice and easy. And then spin his head round. And then his arms can move out like that. And that's him. Let's get a little bit more focus on there. Yeah. He's to be honest, it's my least favourite part of this toy so far. Considering minicons are quite easy to do, you'd think they're quite chunky, but they've overcomplicated it. The transformation is overcomplicated. The plastic is really thin, and as I said, those ball joints, they pop off really easily. Although that said, the joints are quite tight. He has a fair amount of poseability, but the arms, they're awkward. They can move back quite well, but moving them forward is awkward because you get stuck with this joint around his cockpit. And yeah, that's a bit tricky. He's got hands-ish that are designed specifically to hold the matrix. The legs stiff at the hips. There's transformation related toe pivot, and the knees again quite stiff, but you've got a fair amount of poseability there with him. Yeah, so it's not awful. It's not my favourite part of the figure. I will very likely be keeping him in car mode and attaching him to various ports when there we go, when he's all together. So I'm next going to go on to the trailer and pop this into base mode, which will happen like magic. And we're back for base mode. I mean, there's not a huge amount to say about this. It's pretty much very similar to the original version. You got some nice touches like ability to add his giant cannon. These parts, rotate, so you've got the missile launchers that are quite stiff but can sort of spin around a bit. The side pods that we've seen before, you can put your little mini bots in. These Earthrise Micromasters. Whoops. You can go backwards and forwards and come out of those. That's all quite cool. And these can be put on in a couple of different places. So there's one just to the side here. Again, it slots on quite well. It pegs in, but it also slots round. It's shaped on the back so that. Oops. Let's get this off. So you see the grooves here correspond to the struts, so if I wanted to pop that on there, it fits on quite securely and quite nicely. So quite like that. And knee guns, no firing missiles on these dudes, unlike the original one. Yeah, quite positionable. And yeah, there's lots of playability. You can drive around all over the place. Bit of a ramp there, but not really going to get up there. Lots of, I mean, you could fit loads of these little dudes on there. There's tons of space around the back. Oops, as he falls over. Let's try one that's got struts. Yep, there we go. So not that you can see that. Let's take that off. There's a dude there. So this whole area is quite spacious. It's quite big. So there is that side of it. Again, that's not a massive issue. The only problem is that it doesn't really fit in my area. It fits sideways, but you can't, without sort of coming out a bit further, you can't really get a good idea of the whole thing. Let's see. A bit there. Oops. Yeah, I mean, it's quite cool. So yeah, that's really about it with the base. I did find with the gun, which is quite cool. It's got like handles on it, so you can position them down and have like a double-handed big cannon, which I assume Prime could hold. Yeah, that's quite cool. It also fits a missile, but I'm not sure how it would fire, so I'm a little reticent to do that. I still do love these little missile launchers though. They're fun as anything. Oh, that was much more successful. Yes. Ah, that one gets stuck. Anyway, right, so next job with this guy is to combine him. So I'm going to do that and come back for a bit of a comparison between him and his predecessor, as well as Power Base. Okay, and here he is in all of his glory. Combine mode, it's a bit tricky. There are definitely a few hairy moments with the transformation. I did think that I'd managed to get away with the issue that's been reported, the cracking on some of the red plastic parts, but alas, it would appear not. I do have a little crack there, which you probably can't quite see, and there's another one on that hinge there. There's one just there, a little stress mark, which you might be able to pick up on the camera. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, you can see that there. Yeah, but let's not take away from the fact that he looks absolutely amazing. I could go into the issues with the tolerances that have been quite widely reported, but other than pointing out that I've got them, I'm not really gonna go over that too much. So getting him into combine mode, as I said, it's a little bit hairy. There's some pieces that are a bit of a stress. Just a simple thing like you have to pull the arm out just ever so slightly from the legs, just to be able to bend the elbow, and it really didn't want to move. It was some pretty scary squeaky bum time tugging on those legs to get them out so I could bend his elbows. And the problem, an issue I've always had with every version of Armada Prime combine mode is getting the truck body and the trailer legs to clip on. Maybe it's just me, but my original Armada one I could never get to clip in and stay in, and this one, although it stayed in once I got it in immediately, it was a little bit of a give and take. Another thing that's quite tricky, there's these little clips just to the side of his shoulders that you have to push in to hold in his shoulders, and again they were quite difficult. Yeah, no blood though. I haven't bled for this, which is as far as I'm concerned a very good thing. So let's just have a bit of a closer look if we can. Currently I have him in full-on super battle mode with his missile launcher pods. Let's just pop those away. I did manage to ping one across the room earlier and lost it for a good 10 minutes, but found it again. So poseability wise, he's got waist swivel, which is already much more than the original. Knees and hips are quite tough ratchets. The hips especially are quite sturdy. Also getting your hand around there. There we go. Isn't too easy when you've got these flaps in the way. There we go. That's more of a standard, straightforward pose. He's looking a bit more like original Armada Prime or Superlink, as it was. Yeah, so that's pretty much him. As I say, he looks... I really like how he looks. He looks spot on for the original. There's some really nice little transformation touches, like the way these little flappy things all fold to create a solid body. It's all hollow, but some really thin, intricate little foldy bits all around here, which is where all the stress fractures are occurring. Yeah, what else to say? I haven't installed the alternative ears, which give him the smokestack ears of the original. Let's just reconfigure this quickly. So the this actually pops back in like that, and that pops into there. And this goes around here, and that can come out like that. Clippy clip, clippy clip, clippy clip, and then these two bits sort of go around his back to sort of look like his old terrible legs. Oops. Slightly collapsed his ankle there, but he's still going to stand up, so that's okay. Right, let's just bring in the original, just to see quite how much of an improvement this is. So, whoops. Picking that up a bit cack-handedly there. Oh dear, his legs have collapsed. There we go. So, oh, dusty. Should have sorted that out before I put it on film. He's a touch taller. Obviously, aesthetically, he looks much better, but colour-wise, yeah, he looks correct. It's a very, very nice update. It's what I would have wanted in a masterpiece. I doubt they'll do a masterpiece of this, but they might. And Fans Hobby have again knocked it out of the park in terms of look. The plastic quality again is really good. All of the ratcheting is really, really nice. I've probably mentioned before if you've watched some of my other videos, but one of my absolute favourite figures entirely is Power Baser, and the build quality and everything is very similar. And again, putting it into the combined mode, there's a couple of places where you have to get the angle of a joint, an elbow joint or a knee joint or whatever it was, exactly right in order to get some bits to clip in correctly, which I had awful problems with Power Base. So it's only really his arms at the back that come round to create the smokestacks in the same way the original one did, that were a bit of an issue there, but I got them in fairly quickly. All in all, he was a probably quicker combination than Power Baser, and definitely quicker than Power Baser with Apex armor. Let's bring in Mr. Power Baser just to give a comparison. He's a touch smaller than Power Master Prime, but I mean that's fine, and he's also a little less chunky, but again, that's part of the parcel of the design. So yeah, he's definitely up there. He is definitely definitely my top toy so far of 2021. Will he stay that? Will he keep that title? I don't know. There's quite a lot of things on the horizon that are looking pretty special, but he's going to be difficult to top. He's a really, really nice figure. I've really enjoyed transforming him. I've really enjoyed posing him. Cack-handed legs. Cack-handed legs? Is that right? Skew-if. Anyway, I'll sort that out. It looks like his ankle, not that you can see, but one of his ankles is sort of collapsing on itself a bit.
so I need to sort that out. Oh, and the missile pods on the side are a nice little touch, like those. Those ones don't fire though, which is probably for the best. I'd lose them. Just one other quick thing, which has probably been seen before, but the Superlink ports for the minicons. So spin this arm around so you can have a good look. So you've got two parts to it. You've got the left-hand side, which is your standard minicon port, so you can fit any standard minicon on that. But on the other side, it has a peg hole, which, if I can find one, if you get a newer style Micromaster, they will fit in that part. So you can have either, I mean that doesn't particularly go well there, but you get the idea. And there's a few of those around him. There's a couple, there's one underneath where I've got his come off. It's a bit more difficult to get off. There's a couple more under his legs, so where the gun pods are, you can pop that off, and you've got a port there, so you can chuck that dude on his leg, which you can't really see. Let me just put it down. Yeah, so that'll hold him on there. Yeah, so that's about it really. Can't really think of anything else I want to say. I really like it. It's really, really good. It's a lovely looking figure. It's chunky. It's really weighty. It's heavier. There we go. Nice little weight test there. It's definitely heavier than Parabaser. Mostly of that is in the trailer section, which is really solid, especially around the leg sections, which I think is probably for balance issues. Yeah, so there he is. This video has probably gone on for far too long already, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
Fingers on plastic.